Hi everyone. Today, in this world, 7.95 billion people live, whereas in early 2000s, as we saw in the video, 6.1 billion was the world's population. Comparing with respect to the world's annual income as 100%, rich people had 74% of it, middle class people had 24% of it, and poor people had 2% of it. Focusing on the family income side, in early 1970s, Africa, which had around 10% of the world's population living there, were on the poor side. Whereas OECD, which is like the country club of UN, were on the richer side. Latin America was extending from poverty all the way up to the richer scale. So they were in the kind of middle. On top of that, the Dr. Rosling added East Asia, East Europe, South Asia. So the problem was there were many poor people, but it eventually got solved. Like the poverty in Asia was ultimately solved by because the number of people increased and most of them went towards the poverty, whereas some got out of the poverty. So it was kind of interesting. So, but at the end of the day, most of the people in this world are in the middle range, that is, they are middle class people. Then the person also compared the graph, which consisted of GDP per capita and child survival rate. Again, OECD countries were on the higher side, whereas if we just focus on Africa, Sierra Leone was on the lower side, whereas Mauritius was on the higher side, where being Ghana being in the middle. If we considered overall advancement, South Korea had the highest advancement throughout these years as compared to Brazil, a country in South America, which had the lower advancement. The ultimate goal that this video wanted to tell everyone and achieve was be healthy rather than being wealthy. So first be healthy and then focus on being wealthy, because a healthy person can achieve everything, whereas a wealthy person can just have money. Another important thing that this video talked about was about the data. Public funded data should be there and everyone should have access to it. Data should be free and accessible to each and every one of us. Because today there are people, so there is public. Internet is like almost with everyone. One cannot survive without internet nowadays. Whereas there is this data which is with the UN's, United Nations, public and private institutions, universities. It's available, but it's like kind of hidden. So this data should be available to everyone, and we have those resources to access them, like PowerPoints, etc., that he talked about in the video. So the two main important things that we learned from this video was be healthy first and then be wealthy. Second thing, data should be available to everyone, and this publicly accessible data should be made free and accessible. Thanks.